All right, Scorp. This one is difficult, but I think it's more so going to be for other people rather than you, but yet you're the one that's being treated like crap because something's opening up to you. And I think the reason why you're dealing with these people is because, or person, is because they thought that that path should have been for them, but you're the one that's headed down that path. So, Lee Vampire, jealousy, envy, punishment, and changing course. And then you have changing course with prayer from Chakra Wisdom. Prayer is about being sidetracked from your path, or what you think is your path to what you want. But where you are sidetracked to is actually going to take you to what you've been wanting. You know, and it's also about having your prayers answered, but then you're having to deal with people who are jealous of you. That card very specifically talks about other people wanting to punish you for what you have in your life. And looking at prayer, if you're getting your prayers answered, you know, and somebody else isn't. All right, Scorp, here's your overall for the week. The Eight of Wands. Why do I feel like that has to do with impatience more so than anything else? Okay, so the Eight of Wands. Things moving quickly, right? Quick communication, which is referred to as nowadays internet, you know, texting, things like that. But wanting to, let's go. I want to, you know, get things moving here. But then also, you know, with the Eight of Wands, like I've always said, this is one of those things where you get to watch everything just kind of fall into place. But there is going to be action that's going to be required here. But what is it that's moving so quickly around you? You know, and I love the fact that I'm seeing this a lot this week. The sun is the past coming through. And unfortunately, it takes on a different meaning depending on what's going on here. Now, I look at the sun and I look back at prayer and think there's a pretty good idea of who you are and where you're going, but is that changing, like rapidly, right? You know, and then beyond that, right, seeing everything clearly. But this seems to be connected with the solar plexus this week. So, you know, definitely we could be talking about ego and sense of self. In the present, the King of Cups. So for you, this is going to be about getting control over your emotions. I don't think that it's about you being supportive. Because here's the thing, for me, I've always seen the Queen of Cups as Scorpio, because, you know, when you feel something, you feel it and you get involved and you get wrapped up in it. The King doesn't do that. Now, this could definitely be because of a person in your space, possibly another water sign. But, you know, if we are talking about a person here with the sun, you see everything now. You are seeing this person for who they are. But I also feel like there's a better understanding of who you are because of, you know, a person possibly around you. But then definitely the things changing here, communication happening with the Eight of Wands. But you know me, I'm always waiting to see what's happening here. Oh boy. All right. You and Libra. And it's funny because Libra had Scorpio in their reading. The Two of Cups in future conditions. Are we leading to a better connection, a better understanding with somebody, you know, a relationship, right? It doesn't have to be romantic here, like I've always said with the Two of Cups, but this is, you know, two people who are connecting on an emotional level, sharing thoughts and ideas, views, communication. But something about this, it feels good, but I still feel like, let's get this moving now. Come on, right? I don't know. I don't know about this yet. Oh boy. Your best path to follow, justice. And it's funny because, you know, I was thinking about this earlier today. With you guys, don't seek justice. Don't do that. You know, especially if you're trying to stay in control of your emotions here, if things are changing in a relationship or things happening quickly here. Justice being your best path to follow. Fair and balanced choices, not just for you, but for all. Being accountable for actions. You know, is this the right choice for you? But then also, if there were wrongs, right, this being your advice means that you are going to have to correct them. But I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, if things are moving quickly, or you're wanting to move quickly with a relationship here, are you sure? Are you sure that this is fair for everyone involved? Is it the right choice for you? And it's not like there's any difficulty in making this. It's just, it needs to be taken into consideration, I think. Make sure that whatever you do, you realize that you're going to have to be accountable for what you say, what you do. In your environment, the Page of Pentacles. Now, I look at this and I think somebody trying to get something started, right? But needing to go back to the start almost. When I look at the Page of Pentacles, this could definitely be about information that comes through, that helps you get something going, get something started here, but this is starting at the very bottom and needing to work your way back up to that kind of connection with the Two of Cups. Right now, this could definitely be about a business partnership here, and needing to make sure that, everything is weighed out and thought about. But definitely, I look at this as possibly, building something here with someone, but again, with the sun being there, it's like seeing them clearly, seeing yourself clearly. But I still look at, the Eight of Wands and think, come on now, come on, right? Your hopes and fears, the Knight of Swords, and I'm looking at Justice and I'm thinking, I don't think that this has anything to do with a divorce or separation, nothing like that. But I'm looking at the Knight of Swords and going, why are you fearing having something said to you? The other fear on that would be acting too quickly. But then, and then I look at the Eight of Wands and I think of communication, and I think, somebody saying something to you in a very direct way, but it leads to a better understanding. Understanding that there are things that have to be fixed before, we can build here. Because, again, you're starting at the bottom with the Page of Pentacles. But why are you fearing what somebody may say to you, though? And are you hoping to be able to communicate in a very clear way? But, are you open to hearing them? And then the fear would be is that they're not hearing you, right? Because we're talking about two people seeing eye to eye. And then coming out, the Queen of Wands. Now, like I said, whether you're dealing with another water sign or you're dealing with a fire sign here, being the Queen of Wands, I look at this and I think, and it's funny because the sun is directly across from her, right? I've always said with her, I see self-image. But what is it about this connection that makes you feel good? With the Queen of Wands, this is somebody who is super fun to be around, super exciting, right? Knows how to manage her shit, is very attractive. And is it because of this person and this understanding that you feel better about who you are? And then the Ten of Cups, yeah, there's something about this person that makes you feel good. But here's what I'm looking at. With the Four of Pentacles, if you're looking at the Sun with the Queen of Wands, there is something about yourself that you're not willing to give up. There's an idea or a way that you see yourself that you've been trying to maintain. This identity, this feeling here. But then also we could definitely be talking about dealing with a situation with a person where they're not willing to give though either. Looking at the Four of Pentacles, but with the Eight of Cups and then looking at the King and the Page, that's to me is the reason why we're starting over. There may have been a lot put into this, especially emotionally, but it didn't go in the right direction, right? Because I still feel like this is let's go, let's pick things up, but it's also about seeing things move in the right way. But I think at one point that this is something that you have walked away from. I think you did. And I think that there may be a question of, whether or not this is the right thing to do, again, with justice being there. Because if you've put a lot into this and you didn't really get anything out, then, why try to make the connection again? But looking at the Ten of Cups coming out with the 2 and then coming out to the Queen, something about this relationship, something about this person, something about this connection is bringing you overall happiness, which is really good. It's really good. You and Libra, you had easy peasy readings. There's just like these minor difficulties that are going on. And I do think that if you are dealing with a person, they are definitely going to open up communication. I do think that there's a possibility to have a better connection here. I do think that it makes you feel good about yourself. But I also feel like because of the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles that it's like having an understanding now and seeing why there wasn't enough being given to this, but it changing, but in a good way, but you're starting at the bottom, and then I look at prayer and I think this had to happen. This was the path that you were supposed to take with this person, but it's being redirected. And just you in general. I mean, if we're talking about a better relationship with yourself, though I don't think that, I think it does have to do with someone else. You're still, moving into a better place here. But I go back to that 8 of Cups and Justice, and this is something big for you. To see justice there with something as minor as the 8 of Cups, it makes me think that you invested a lot emotionally, but just didn't get anything from it. But for some reason, it's like coming back around here. All right, I'm going to shut the hell up. Soul trees, tell me something. And heal heart and spirit. And I think, and I look at the intertwining trees, right? And I think the both of you, healing heart and spirit here. But rebirth, something being, brought back up here. Going through the rebirth and then having absolute clarity and understanding why there wasn't enough give into this, and fixing that issue here and then healing heart and spirit. It looks good to me. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. So needing to show them that love is still there, but needing to slow down, right? Things don't need to be so quick. But, demonstrating love is important, right? It lets the other person know that you actually hear them when they're speaking to you about, what is important to them. But it doesn't have to be quick, right? Like it doesn't have to be right now and then, have it kind of burn out. But I think that you already went through that, because again, I look at this as you're going to start from the bottom here, but it's not a bad thing. And things are going to be fair and balanced out. But I also think that, you need to take into consideration what is going to be fair for everyone involved around you, though, too. But regardless, looking at the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Cups, that's perfect. All right, Scorp, so it's nice to see that not all of us are dealing with, difficult relationship issues. And I think that for some of you who have been, it's definitely changing in a better direction here. Now, when I look at the Sun with the King of Cups, this to me is seeing the past clearly and understanding. But then also understanding in a way where you feel like you're in better control of your own emotions. Now, definitely this could be about clarity on a person and moving into a relationship here where you feel really good about yourself and this connection, which is great. And again, whether it's romantic or business partnership, but something about this brings you like overall happiness here. But I do think that with the 8 of Wands, right, we're definitely talking about communication, but then things happening quickly. In between the 2 of them, being a little bit too hasty. But then on the other hand, I think that for some of you, it's like fearing having, this blunt, honest truth being spoken to you. But once that happens, it allows things to be corrected, right? And gives you a chance, though, to make amends, though, too. But then also, I feel like this is about making sure things are fair. Now, looking at the Two of Cups, again, with the Queen of Wands, to me, it's, feeling good about who you are, especially with the Sun being there, who you are in this connection, this relationship. But with the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, this to me is kind of clarifying why things are starting at the bottom here with the Page of Pentacles being in your environment. So there wasn't enough being given. And for you, I think that there was definitely a lot invested into this, but then there was the need to just kind of walk away from it because of not getting what you needed. But then coming out with the Ten of Cups, it leads to that happiness, that much sought after happily ever after. But I think it's something about this connection that brings you that overall happiness. Now, like I said, when it comes to jealousy, I think that this might just be minor. If you're getting your prayers answered here and a path is opening up to you, that's really, really good, especially in terms of relationships. It would be, reasonable to say here that there may be people around you that may not be so happy about that. I almost feel like you may be dealing with people who thought that was for them, not for you, But it's only going to affect you if you allow it to. Now, looking at the soul trees, rebirth, I look at that word every day, right? Going through the rebirth here, which is a good phase, and then having absolute clarity, but it leading to you being able to heal your heart and spirit. But then if we are talking about a relationship in the intertwining trees here, it's for both of you. Now, again, right, it doesn't have to be super quick here because you have slow down with whispers of love, but then demonstrate love. Slow things down to where you feel comfortable, but also make sure that, this person sees that, you actually listen to them, you are trying to know them, and you're acting on that, right? Demonstrating that love to them. I like it. It's very rare to see, an easy, normal reading for Scorpio. Enjoy the rebirth. Right? And don't be too quick to send it into the death cycle. Enjoy what is happening right now. Slow yourself down and experience that overall happiness. Don't take that for granted like so many people do, right?